Dramatic sky unfolding here in New York City, and I gotta say this is one of the more creative places to do an interview. So, Jen, what made you want to answer 73 questions at a Williamsburg mini golf course?
You know, during the pandemic, I was really jealous because my husband started golfing and he had like an outdoor activity. And so I'm gonna try to get really good at it today so that I too can have an outdoor activity.
Seems logical.
Plus I heard a storm was coming in. I was like, let's get outside.
And this seems dangerously exciting.
Very.
So when was the last time that you played mini golf?
Never, or like 5 years ago.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank your abilities?
1.
So you're telling me there's a higher than 0% chance of a hole in one today?
No.
Well, I hope I'm surprised. Now, Jen, with everything that's going on between balancing your career and your personal life, what makes you happiest these days?
My family.
And what have you done for the first time recently?
Give birth.
Congratulations. 10 years from now, what will you regret doing way too much of?
Interviews.
If you could resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today, who would it be?
Chris Farley.
Who's the first person who left you starstruck?
The Verizon wireless guy. I was doing a commercial in Canada, and it was my 16th birthday, and the Verizon guy brought me my birthday cake.
I hope he can hear you now.
I hope he can.
What's one thing that you always have in your trailer, Jen?
A robe.
What is your favorite movie over the last 5 years?
Hereditary.
And what is your favorite movie of all time that you never get sick of?
I mean, the movie I've seen the most and watched for any occasion is Father of the Bride 2.
Now, is there one type of film that you haven't done but you would love to do one day?
Comedy.
Now let's get a view of you from this Manhattan skyline behind you.
Woo!
I think there may be some lightning, so hopefully we're insured for this.
Moody.
So moody. Now, you were discovered here on a spring break trip with your mom. What else did you do on that trip?
We ate at Applebee's in Times Square.
And that's the reason you live here now.
Oh, yes.
What's the best part about living in this city?
The energy.
And what is the one recommendation you give to anyone visiting?
Wash your feet when you get home, and if you see Bethany Frankel, tell her she's not a chef.
That's it. I love Real Housewives. So when do people... Oh, got it. Now, when do people become real New Yorkers?
Either after 10 years or if you can talk trains.
And what do you say to anyone who insists that Los Angeles is better than New York City?
They're right. Los Angeles is better in so many ways. You have to be a real city rat to want to live here.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen here?
Well, speaking of rats, a rat about the size of a tabby cat walking very confidently through the subway, not afraid of anyone.
Well, it's time to walk confidently to our next hole.
All right.
What's your favorite wine?
God, I don't really know. I mean, just like a red?
And what is the perfect dessert to pair with that glass of red wine?
Not a huge dessert person, but I guess like a sorbet.
In dinner parties or after parties?
After parties.
And speaking of after parties, your first Oscars after party. Was that as crazy as it seems?
What seems crazy?
Your first Oscars after party.
Oh yeah, I threw up.
Okay, Jen, you work with tons of talented actors. Which actor is the most fun to be on set with?
The most fun I've ever had with actors on set is Josh and Liam, Hunger Games. Hi, boys.
They're great. Can you hear that thunder?
I do.
Oh my God, this is getting crazy.
It's getting close.
It's getting close. Now, what is the best quality in a director?
Kindness and openness.
What is the best quality in a co-star?
Kindness and confidence.
And what director are you really, really hoping to collaborate with?
Ari Aster, Leo Carax, the Coen brothers.
Good names. And do you still want to direct one day?
Sure, maybe. I don't know. There's so many better directors than me, but maybe.
Really hope you do. And which of your co-stars blew you away the most during any take?
Christian Bale.
Why?
He became a completely different person.
And which actor's work do you most admire?
Meryl Streep.
Now, you've also worked with another legend, Robert De Niro. Can you share with me your all-time favorite, quintessentially Robert De Niro story?
He is amazing on set. He's just the sweetest man in the world, still very intimidating. I invited him to my rehearsal dinner for my wedding, obviously expecting him not to come. And when he came, I said, Bob, you really don't have to be here. You can go home. And he was like, thank you so much, and left.
Oh, that's good. All right, let's golf. We got a mini golf here. So what's the strangest thing a journalist has ever asked you in an interview? Let me just get out of the way here.
Well, this isn't a question, but when I was in China, they told me that my nickname in China translates to...
Oh, interesting time to fly. I think it's safe to be flying in this weather.
Hope they don't get struck by lightning.
As you were saying, Jen.
But they told me that my nickname in China translates to big elderly cousin.
What's the most bizarre thing that you've ever read about yourself?
That I f***ed Harvey Weinstein.
Now, you did back-to-back films for 7 years. What's the most important thing that you learned about work during that time?
I guess endurance.
And what's one of your favorite memories of being on set?
Damn it.
You'll get the next putt.
Chris Pratt one time told me a story on the set of Passengers that involved the word cut. And so I couldn't make it through an entire scene because every time I heard cut.
Yes!
Oh my God. Wow.
Got Arnold Palmer over here. Let's keep
Okay.
going. So what's one memory...
Go where?
We'll mosey on down to the next hole. We'll figure it out. All right, what's one memory from shooting that still makes you laugh?
Memory from shooting that still makes me laugh. Well, one time I accidentally took an Ambien instead of my thyroid medication in the morning before the Hunger Games.
Oh, God. And speaking of Hunger Games, did anything intimidate you about your role in that first film?
Everything intimidated me. I'm not exactly like a physically like, you know, I'm not like, I don't have any athletic prowess, you know? Okay.
All right, give it a swing. I'll be behind this melting iceberg because it's a climate change themed mini golf course.
Did it go in?
Yeah.
Did it go in?
Yeah, definitely.
Sick.
Okay, if a fan must come up to you and has to interact with you, what do you suggest they say or do?
Any kind of like conversation that doesn't involve like, can I take a picture with you is always wonderful.
That's an important message for your fans. Now, Jen, which of your red carpet looks was your favorite?
Which of my what was my favorite?
Your red carpet looks.
I don't know. I mean, who's ever looked at a picture of themselves and been like, I look great?
What do you look for in a red carpet look? Whoa.
To not retain water in my face and cinching. Lots of cinching.
Well, there may be a lot of water coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
And what do you try to avoid in a red carpet look?
Anything that exposes the top of my arms.
Who do you think has the best style in the world?
Sienna Miller. I don't have a ball.
Oh, you don't? Okay, let me toss you a spare. Here you go. And, oh, nice catch.
I'll stab myself in the diaphragm.
Well, maybe it is unsafe that you're holding a metal club in this weather. Let me get that off your hands. It's time for me to show my skills. And, ooh, sorry. Let's get back to the questions. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to do a pixie cut?
I mean, first off, that's mean. Obviously, my advice is don't do it. Think everything through. And if I could have the internet scrubbed of those photos, or not scrubbed, just add extensions to them. If anybody knows how to do that, that'd be great.
Okay, final hole, Jen. It's time for me to give this one a go. I brought my lucky turquoise ball with me. Do you think you could provide some golf commentary in a dramatic whisper voice as I give this a swing? Thank you.
All right, here he goes.
Here I go.
Oh, he did not succeed.
Rapid fire, Jen. What's your favorite fast food?
Checkers.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
Any Man of Mine, Shania Twain.
Who's your favorite person in the world to FaceTime and why?
My best friend Justine, because she's very funny.
Who was the first person you called after winning your Oscar, and what did you say to them?
David O. Russell. I'm sorry that I forgot to thank you.
Jen, can you go up to that giant earth ball thing and get a closer look?
Well, I would love to.
While I ask 3 quick questions. What's that earth made of? Why is this golf course climate change themed? And are there any other causes that you think are important?
They're using reused bottle caps. This golf course raises money. Well, it doesn't raise money, but it donates some of the profits to climate change efforts. And another organization that I'm very passionate about is Represent Us.
We got a big storm coming, Jen. We gotta go.
What if this is how we die?
I refuse to let Jennifer Lawrence die. What's her favorite sport?
I don't really like sports, but I'll say hockey, because they're, hot. They look hot.
Favorite way to spend a Sunday?
In bed with my family.
And I think we need more Real Housewives material here. Who's your favorite Real Housewife?
Sonia.
And what city should the next Real Housewives season be filmed in?
In the Malibu surfing community, of the Brentwood moms.
Good idea. And what 3 words best describe your style right now?
She's still trying.
What was the hardest costume to film in?
Passengers, my spacesuit.
Okay, and what's one thing...
Wow,
What?
getting some Beyonce Hurricane.
This looks great.
Do I look scared?
No, you look stunning. Let's shift gears. What's one thing you wish you knew before getting married?
That Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were gonna do it again.
Speaking of marriage, who cooks more, you or your husband?
Me.
I'll keep an eye out for my dinner party invite. And Jen, congratulations on becoming a mother.
Thank you.
What's one word to describe motherhood?
There isn't.
That's 2 words.
Okay, well, got me there.
What's the best piece of advice you've gotten about parenting?
Babies don't get bored.
Has motherhood changed your approach to working at all?
Of course, everything. Location, when, my hours, all of it.
So how do you deal with stress?
Not very well.
What's the pro and con of being back on set after these wild last couple of years?
I guess the pro is everybody's, a lot cleaner and washing their hands and everything. The con is, God, I don't know. I mean, the just normal work and stuff. Being tired.
It's been hard on everyone. It's crazy.
Yeah. But mostly me.
How have you seen Hollywood change since Time's Up was launched?
I've seen huge changes, tremendous change.
It's been incredible.
Yes, and more representation.
Now you are starring in a new film called Causeway.
Yes.
Can you give me an elevator pitch on what this movie is all about?
It is a story of a woman who's coming back from a very traumatic journey, and she is trying to find her way in the world, and she sparks an interesting, unexpected relationship with someone.
Wow, really cool. I look forward to seeing it. Now let's take a time portal back to your childhood.
Okay.
How would you describe yourself as a kid?
Hyper,
Do you have any nicknames growing up?
Nitro, and Floppin'.
I could see you as a floppin'. And what did you love about school, and what did you hate about school?
I didn't really love anything, but I hated the bus and having to ask somebody if you can go to the bathroom. I guess I have to do that at my job too.
I can see how you still need to do that. Do you ever get stage fright?
Yes, I have tremendous stage fright.
Ah, so that's why you come off as so shy.
Well, yeah.
So when did you first feel famous?
When I went to a Whole Foods and there were paparazzi everywhere, and I was like, oh my God, who are they here for? And it was me.
That was you. It was the beginning of it all. And when was the first time that you felt successful?
When I bought an apartment in New York.
What advice would you give to your 14-year-old self?
Get a stylist, honey. Do it early. Don't wait.
Jen, we survived this storm, and we are on question number 73.
Okay.
Here we go. Do you think you can show me a little bit of your Kentucky accent before we go?
I don't really have it anymore, but if I did, it would sound like this.
Wow, feels like I'm in Frankfurt right now.
Frankfurt?
I know my Kentucky cities.
Yeah, but I'm from Louisville.
Yes, you are. Jen, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much for endangering my life.